This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Brunson nearly lost it, now does. Garland ahead. Mitchell gets stripped, but fouled.
Knicks family, what's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? We're back on the lounge, just the Losers Lounge. And yes, TKO, that man, Tyler Kolek, Tycho, bunch of different names for the brother, man. Putting in work, gets the block on Donovan Mitchell, sends those guys trooping out of NYC with a loss. Tony didn't get a chance to do a show last night because I was traveling. You know, it was Christmas and all of that. I guess before we even go into the whole Losers Lounge and what the Cavs fans think, man, how'd you feel about the game last night? Yesterday afternoon.
Contributed greatly to my beautiful Christmas. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
To have a win. Dramatic fashion as usual. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can't come easy.
Never
come
will.
back
Never will.
2 17-point deficits in one game.
Crazy.
And you know, one of them in the fourth quarter. And then the boy, man, Tyler the creator, TKO. Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call him, man. This man is balling.
Tyler the creator, all of that is beautiful. I'm loving seeing what he's doing, man. For someone who was a detractor last year on Kolek, you know what I mean? I just thought he had a lot to learn, a ways to go before he'd be contributing the way he's contributing. But, you know, I'm glad he shut me up. Man.
We always go back to this multiple times, you know, throughout the years. But, you know, remember what Clyde told us, you know, about Frank Ntilikina.
Confidence, baby. Confidence.
and it's, you know what I mean? You can see it. You can see the confidence.
You see it.
You can see it on the defensive end, on the offensive end. You know what I mean? You can see it in the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it, and it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, big difference, man. You know, he's celebrating to the crowd, and you know what I mean. Like, big difference. You know what I'm saying? Showing a lot of confidence out there. You know, last night, what did he give us? 15 points last night?
15 or 16.
Yeah,
I think it was 15. Yeah, I think it was 15.
15, like 8 assists. You know what I'm saying? He's just, you know, the kid is just, you know, we're watching him grow and develop before our eyes. You know what I mean? And Mike Brown is growing trust in him before, you know, well, we're just watching it. We're watching it happen. You know what I'm saying? In real life. It's a beautiful thing to see. And for him to be at a position of need for the Knicks, a distributor, you know what I mean? You know, what can you say? And listen, other teams are noticing. Right? This is Sweet Lou, 2765. He said, we get cooked by a second round, number 34, 2024 draft pick. Yet, we have, in my opinion, a better player in Proctor, and we aren't utilizing him. You know, people are always going to say, you know, someone, it's like I always say about other teams. You know what I'm saying? We assume our young guys are as good as other teams' young guys. You know what I'm saying? This dude is assuming that Proctor is as good as Tyler Kolek, and you don't know that.
And I'm not sure who Proctor is.
Me neither.
But one thing about Kolek is he was seasoned coming into the league, right? I think he played 4 years of college, right?
Right.
So he had that extended college experience where he's, a lot of these young guys are really young guys. You know what I mean? Like he's a little bit older than the average, second year player, if you will.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. That experience. And then he got to, play a little last year, watch a lot, but I'm sure that experience was helpful for him in becoming who he is right now.
People want to downplay that experience all the time. People want to downplay it. You know what I mean? They want to downplay that experience. They want it to be that. Now I want to keep going back to the Tom Thibodeau, Mike Brown battle or whatever you want to call it, but they want to keep burning up Tom Thibodeau because he didn't play last year. But I'm sure that experience of not playing, getting the coaching from the staff, understanding where his faults are and things helped him to get to this point. You know what I mean? He did play. He played. He didn't play. He didn't get the type of minutes he's getting now. He didn't get crunch time minutes. And right now I'll tell you what, he is saying to Mike Brown, I don't care who comes back. You can't keep me off the floor. You dig what I'm saying? He's capitalizing on the moment, and that's what you got to do. And last year, he played well in some aspects, you know what I mean? But there were other aspects he didn't play well defensively, you know what I mean? But right now, he's capitalizing on the moment. And you can see the way he's come back and is playing better defense this year.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest jump. That's the biggest jump. Like, we saw the capability to facilitate, right? We've seen the difference of when he was aggressive offensively, and looking for a shot or taking the open look, and when he's not doing that. So all those things he gained experience in, but yeah, defense is where he made the jump. You know what I mean? Everything else was in his wheelhouse.
Right.
We're seeing from him defensively. I mean, it's a shock.
Yeah.
But it goes back to hard work, effort, and IQ.
Mm-hmm.
And those things will offset a lot of deficiencies.
Exactly.
For any player.
Exactly.
But they got to give that effort, you know what I mean? That energy and have that IQ. And everybody can't do that. Everybody's not willing to do that.
Right. Nah, he's definitely doing it. And, when you talk about the confidence, you see him, pointing to the crowd. You know what I mean? I read something where Mike Brown had yelled at him in front of the team about shooting. You know what I mean?
3 for 10.
What'd you say?
3 for 10.
3 for 10. And
the first half. Pardon me.
Yeah, first half. And he came back out and he was, 6 for 12 or whatever it was. Right? And he walked past Mike Brown as like, I'm making shots. You know what I mean? It's that confidence, that little bit of dog in him, you know what I mean, that you love.
And we even talked about it. I believe we talked about it. But after the career night, right? And when they asked him about Kolek, and he wasn't trying to give him too much praise, right?
Too much, yeah.
It was like, yeah, he gotta be better. You know what I mean? Like he's gotta make up for those deficiencies.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was even with that, it was nice to hear him tell him, hey, this ain't enough.
This ain't,
you know what I mean? Don't get complacent.
You can do more.
Keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Building them up.
You can do more. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. It's building them up. Some people say, oh, get a kid his props, boom, 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 boom. No, as a coach, that's not your job to always give somebody their props. It's your job to understand what they can do, where they can go, what they can be. If it's somebody like if Diawara had that, great game. Oh my God. Because he has so much more he has to do Kolek, you're like, you can do this. I'm not giving you credit for that. And so, never mind, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something. I ain't going to go there. It's not even about players. It was something else. It probably belongs on the front stoop, what I was about to say. We can move on from that. I ain't going to say it. I don't want to offend nobody out there because it might be what I was about to say. There might be some people in the chat who it's them. So I ain't gonna go there. Let's keep talking about the Knicks and the Cavs. We'll go there on the front stoop. You know what I mean? But yeah, big shout out to Kolek, man. He got the block on Donovan Mitchell. And this is what he said. You brought this to my attention. I didn't know he said this. Take a listen to what Kolek had to say about his block on Donovan Mitchell. And if you see a little swirly in the middle, don't worry about it. Sometimes it takes a minute for the video to load, folks.
Donovan Mitchell was on the ground, and I told him I was all ball. We always talk about next play speed, and I saw him running, and honestly, if he ran and just did a regular layup, I wouldn't have caught up to him, but he wanted to do some windmill. He slowed down, he was trying to do something crazy.
Slowed down, and he was trying to do something crazy. And he said, nope, not today. Yeah, Kolek on the play.
Around if you want to.
Right, and here it is. Kolek on the play. If he ran and did a regular layup, I wouldn't have caught up to him. He wanted to do some windmill. Swoosh. He slowed down. He was trying to do something crazy, and then he says, even Kolek is clowning number 45. He wasn't clowning him. He was just saying, I don't know if he was clowning him.
He wasn't clowning him, but he definitely was letting him know. You know what I mean? That, and maybe not specifically to Donovan Mitchell, but letting the reporter know, hey, it was a great play by me, but I only got there because, he wanted to showboat.
Because he was trying to do something. He's probably telling the truth. Because he gave him props, and he at the same time, like, he got speed. I'm not catching him. But because he, had to take those 2 steps to get his feet right, I was able to catch him. And I wasn't going to let him do that in the Garden, which he ended up catching a nasty dunk anyway, but, we're not going to show that one. We're not showing that one. But, shout out to Tyler Kolek. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? He's definitely doing his thing.
And I don't want to just talk about him because, again, the bench won us this game. You talk about Jordan Clarkson's 25 off the bench, efficient night. You know what I mean? I think he was 50% from 3. Big buckets, right? And then Mitchell Robinson, and he didn't have the offensive impact, but again, what he's been doing all year with them offensive rebounds, 2 big defensive rebounds in the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? And second chance points because he's giving us, he's getting that rebound, we getting 3. So we went in the possession battle based off of that as well. I watched Atkinson's interview, and he said the tale of 2 halves, right? Or tale of 2 quarters, and the second and the fourth. The second, he said it was the turnovers and the points off turnovers, which was a huge difference. Like, I forgot what it might have been 12 for the half, you know what I mean? But most of them in the second quarter. And that fourth quarter, it was rebounding and second chance points that way. So we won the possession battle on them turnovers, you know what I mean, where they're not getting the possession and we're scoring off of it. And then we won it on them offensive rebounds.
Yeah. D Public Enemy said D Mitchell tried to showboat in front of his girlfriend, Coco Jones. He did. And Kolek was like, nah, he made a great defensive play. He tried to. Mitchell tried to. And you know what I mean? He's definitely proud of his girlfriend in the NBA games. He's definitely proud of her, which he should be.
And he was mic'd up, right? Because he said, I haven't dunked in a month. I only dunked because she's here.
She's here, he said, something like that.
In that first half.
Yeah, in the first half. Yeah.
So he definitely was trying to show up.
Women to do that to you, bro. They'll do it to you. You know what I mean? They'll do it to you. No doubt about that. Let's see what we got here. Momentum. C216 said, I think it's funny that the Knicks people know exactly when the momentum to win that game shifted, which was the Kolek block. And yet I haven't been able to find a single Cavs article even mentioning it. I genuinely just don't understand the benefit Donovan gets from seemingly everyone like he's a multiple-time champion. There are a lot of Cavs fans in these comments that, you know, kind of get down on Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? Why?
Not to the extent of what we would hear from Knicks fans about Randall, but what I hear from them is the same in the sense that they don't consider him a number one option. Now,
that's what's crazy.
When they say that, they don't even say there's a number one option on the team that should be, you know what I mean? That should, so it's same thing with Randall in the sense like if you could feel he shouldn't be a number one option on a championship team, but you should also recognize on this team he's the number one option.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I just think they feel like they need someone better than him, and maybe not in place of him, but they don't. You know what I mean? And that was the same sentiment with a lot of fans with Randall. It was like he can't be the number one guy. I'm not saying get rid of him, but we need someone better with him.
See, I can see Randall. He don't have the type of offensive skill Donovan Mitchell got. Like Donovan Mitchell's offensive skill is obviously next level. You know what I mean? How much of it is like this here? I know that Mitchell play was huge, but those offensive rebounds is what did us in. One bad play doesn't even come close to giving a team multiple second chances that they capitalized off of, right? So when do you point to your big man and say y'all not tough enough?
That's fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean?
And again, this gentleman is I agree with, and I feel like that's more of a coach's analysis. Coaches, you know what I mean? Like but the fan base, a lot of them don't think that deep into the game. You know what I mean? They look at numbers, they look at plays, and then they look at outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if he had such and such.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like he's not, you know what I mean? He's not a winning player. He's a stat guy. And you know what I mean? A lot of people just don't look that deep into the game. But yeah, that's what lost them the game. The possessions,
right?
The second chance points,
right?
You know what I mean? The turnovers, like their coach was saying,
right? You know what I mean? There's some fans that recognize it. You know, it's fams, a soft team. Y'all were funny thinking we could compete with this team this year. Gigantic snake. I've had enough of Jared Allen. He's only 6'9", and he's too soft. We need a 7-footer that actually has a presence in the paint, rebounds, and defends. Offensively, just needs to hit open layups and lobs. Until we make that change, we're wasting the rest of the talent on this roster. So there's obviously people who realize that it's, you know, it's more than just that.
The bigs are more of the problem than.
Yeah.
I mean, Mobley just came back, right? I've always said, and again, I like Mitchell, but I was on record saying until he becomes their best player, they're not going to win.
Until who? Mobley?
Mobley. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, they and I don't watch them all, you know what I mean, enough to really, but I'm going off of what they say his potential is, potential defensive player of the year, they say, and you know, only scratching the surface of what he can do offensively.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think his two-way ability would suit them better. And Donovan already can play off ball. Like he don't need to be on ball to be his best self.
Right.
He could play off ball. He could play on ball. So I think Mitchell is more like a closer, but he don't got to be the best player.
The best player. Okay. Yeah. D Public Enemy said, to the haters who said they wanted Mitchell Robinson traded because he's always injured or he can't make free throws, ain't nobody in the league matching Mitch on the offensive rebounding. That's the truth.
Especially if you're talking per 36.
Yeah, per 36. I mean, you know, that's off the chain. That's the truth. No one's matching Mitch when it comes to offensive rebounding. You know what I mean? And it's huge for the team. Right? It's huge for the team. That offensive rebounding. Obviously, we see what it did yesterday. You know, I mean, basically, you know, with everything that everybody else did, that offensive rebounding kind of won us the game. You know what I mean? Won us the game.
Yeah. One thing I love about him coming off the bench is it becomes an impact player off the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because his impact, it changes the game.
Yeah.
Most times immediately.
Yeah.
So now you got him as an impacting defensive player, right? Rebound, offensive rebound, all that. Then you got JC who, you know, he's seeming to find his own now. He's looking like, you know, he's looking like the JC from Utah, 6th man of the year. Like he's finding his rhythm. He's taking better shots. He's coming up in clutch moments when we need the performance. You know what I mean? Like, so it's making out. I know we're only averaging about, I mean, I say only, but you know, 9 more points from last year. As far as the bench, we're still like in the bottom of the league as far as like bench production. But I don't think they got a measurement for bench impact.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing now. Like the bench is impacting the game, which never was really the case for us.
Right. True. Jose said Cat's put back at the end was crucial. No doubt. That joint was huge. Two things there. And Tony and I talked about this a little bit last night too. One, Kolek wasn't afraid to take the shot. I love that. And then when he missed it, Cat was right there to put it back. That was big. That was huge. You know what I'm saying? That ended the game. Right there. You know, well, I can't say it ended the game. It didn't end the game, but it was crucial. It was crucial.
It would have ended the game had he hit that last free throw, though. Talk about do I make it or miss it, man? Come on, man. Like you just showing your IQ asking that question.
Yeah.
Do I make it or miss it?
Do I make it or miss it? Bro, put us up 4. They got 2.1 seconds left or whatever. What are you talking about?
Nah, it would have only put us up 3.
Oh, it would have put us up 3, right?
He would have lost us the game.
Lost us the game. Exactly. It would have put us up 3. Like, what are you talking about? A heave can, yeah. And, you know, was it this game? Maybe it was the end of the first half, end of a quarter, where Tyler Kolek had to tell Cat where to go.
Oh, it was end of the fourth. It was the end of the fourth.
Oh, yeah, end of the fourth, on the inbound. You know, I mean, how much does that tell us about, I'm not sure, I don't want to, how much does that tell us about Kolek, not Cat?
It shows leadership.
You
know what I mean? Like, it shows point guard leadership.
And that and he's not afraid. Okay, yeah, Cat's a vet in the league, all NBA, all-star. but he's not afraid to say, I need you to do this. And to Cat's credit, he's not afraid to do it.
And IQ, because he wasn't yelling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the defense could know what I'm trying to get to you. So
yeah. Oh, here we go. Here you go. If Tibbs were here, Cat would have still be playing with 4 fouls in the first quarter. All right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, Slow Runner 14 said key play, definitely great play by Kolek to get the pass in the Cat. Yeah. Smart play. It was a key play. Smart play, and this is what Kolek has been doing. You know what I mean? Commentators talk about it all the time. They see him instructing players, telling people where to go, where to be, creating plays, creating opportunities for other people, just by using his IQ. You can't beat that. You need that on your basketball team. You know what I'm saying? And he's providing that for this team. And we're going to talk about it, but the question is getting even tougher now as far as what you do when Deuce and Shamet come back. He's making it where you can't take him off the floor. You cannot take him out the rotation. He is creating that problem right now.
This might be the 6th or 7th time I'm saying it, but the most impressive thing is not only what he does, in the non-Brunson minute, but the fact that Mike Brown is leaving him in the game where he's bringing Brunson in the fourth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been helpful. You know what I mean? It's not like it's been plus minutes.
Yeah.
I think he was a plus 20 something last game. And I would not be surprised if it was the highest plus minus because he was on the floor when we came back for both comebacks.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was on the floor with the second unit, and he was on the floor with Brunson.
Yeah. Slow Runner 14 said, Kolek reminds me of John Stockton and Steve Nash. He will be more than just a backup in another year. We'll see if he is more than just a backup in another year, what happens with the Knicks. You know what I mean? But because of the type of player he is, the only issue is the defense and the height as far as him playing with Brunson extended minutes. But because of the type of player that he is, he can play with Brunson because he's a distributor first. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it allows Brunson to be off ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I memean? And maybe get a couple of easier baskets in those moments.
Yeah. Now, let me get to a phone call, man. We got the man. Silk's up on the line. Silk, what's popping, brother? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm getting no kind of award. It must be Christmas. What's up? What's up, fellas?
You said you getting what award?
I'm getting the man award.
You the man, baby. You the man.
What up, Sam? What up, Tony?
Chilling, man. Feeling good.
Peace.
Yeah, Sam. My man TKO.
TKO, baby.
It can be a tough call for Brown when Shamet, his favorite child, and Deuce come back. You know, Deuce is questionable. So, when you questionable, you most likely going to play.
Right.
So my question to you is, Hart out. If Deuce is playing against Atlanta, who's starting? And Deuce is coming off an injury, so you don't even want to put him right in the fire like that. So who's taking Hart's spot in the starting lineup?
Kolek.
I wouldn't. You think so?
If Deuce is just coming off injury and Kolek is doing what he's doing. When Brunson was out, he was the starter. Why not?
Who's gonna run the bench when Brunson sits down in the second quarter?
Yeah, I wouldn't start him, Sam. I'd start DOR.
Oh, maybe it's Diawara. I forgot about Diawara. He's normally been starting for OG.
It's only been OG, but I would start Diawara. Put him at the 3 in between OG and Bridges.
I guess you could do that.
And you playing against Johnson and who else is starting on that team besides obviously Trae Young, but you know what I mean. Oh well, you know what?
I don't know though, man.
You could start Deuce and put him on Young. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather him on Young instead of McCall.
When you put Clarkson instead, Cardiac Clarkson, he could guard Trae Young.
He could,
and he could match him point for point.
I don't know about all that.
I want my bench. I want my bench to be the effective bench that it's been.
Hold up.
You know what I mean?
Hey Tone, hold up. So you just said Clarkson's gonna match Trae point for point.
Right now he is. He hot.
Okay,
I'm riding Cardiac as long as I can last.
One game. I mean, not that he's been hot one game, but I mean, he's played well, obviously, but I mean, it's not like he's been dropping 30 the last 5 games.
But neither one of them defensive is high defense. The Cardiac's been a little bit of better defense, but those are two kind of shaky defensive guys that can play each other. Because the wing's gonna be on Brunson. They're gonna be trying to double team him, so you need somebody. They're gonna be cheating on Brunson, and you need somebody who ain't scared to put up the shot. And I want Kolek to run the second team when Brunson sits.
I mean, Kolek ain't scared to put up the shot.
I want another shooter out there with Brunson because Deuce is coming back. We got the shooter on the bench to play with Kolek. If Deuce is coming back, this is all predicated of if Deuce is coming back on the bench.
Right. I mean, Kolek can knock down the shot. True. Obviously, he can shoot it.
I want him to run the team. When Brunson's sitting down, who's gonna run the team?
But you still can.
Ball handling.
You just stagger the lineups. It's not like he wouldn't play with the second unit or Brunson wouldn't play with the second unit.
I guess.
Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, I think I want to have size against this that starting unit. Atlanta starting unit.
Who do they have out there starting?
I mean, Dyson is like
Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, the two sides.
Johnson's like 6'9" at the 3. You know what I mean? 6'8", 6'9". Okongo is they center now? Like they starting center? That's his name? Okongo?
Let me see.
Defensive guy.
I'm gonna let you know right now. So they are starting Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Zakari, I can't say his name.
Okawara at the center. That's what they say.
You got Okongwu. It's Onyeka.
Yeah,
Okongwu at center. Jalen Johnson at the forward spot. At power forward. Or small forward. And you got Zakari at power forward. So Trae Young, of course, is like 6'4". Right? Only 6'2". Thought he was a little taller than that. And then Dyson Daniels. See, the thing with Dyson Daniels, what gives you a little bit of leadway with Dyson Daniels is, he's not necessarily a scorer.
Yeah, but he's strong. And when he's aggressive, you know what I mean? I don't think he's necessarily a shooter. But I think when he's aggressive, he can score.
I mean, he can. He's averaging 11.5.
His biggest attribute, though, he's gonna be guarding Brunson.
Yeah, I mean that's his attribute. He's shooting 13.5% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I know he ain't a shooter.
You know what I mean? So one of those two guys, if they both did start, one of them could guard Dyson Daniels, right? Even though he's 6'7", one of them would be guarding Dyson Daniels. The other would be guarding Trae Young.
Can I ask y'all guys a question?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a Tibbs fan, but I don't think Kolek would be doing this in the Tibbs. I don't think Tibbs will be challenging Kolek like Brown is challenging verbally. He might have the assistants do it, word of mouth. I don't think he will be doing it to him openly. I don't think that's a Tibbs style. See, something with Brown.
I don't think he would be doing it publicly.
Sure.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it publicly.
Yeah,
what he says to him,
or
out,
or in front of the group, like he said, he challenged Kolek in front of the group last time. And you're gonna take 10 shots. You can't just be making. I don't think Tibbs would do that in front of the group. He might pull him to the side, but that's not a Tibbs.
He would have pulled him out. He would have pulled him out at 7.
Let's not forget that Kolek was a Tibbs guy. Tibbs wanted to draft Kolek.
Right.
Let's not forget that. You know what I mean?
I believe that, but I don't think Tibbs challenges players because I think he got burnt in his younger years of challenging players and it hurt him. So he don't openly challenge. When he challenged hard on the bench, that was a shocker to everybody.
Yeah, I think he probably challenges players behind closed doors, not necessarily in the public. You know what I mean? I think it's more like that.
So do you think Kolek will be doing this year? Still with Tibbs? Or will it take a little bit longer? Because Tibbs don't challenge him.
I don't know.
Openly.
Don't know. It's hard. It's something that you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had games under Tibbs where he did not the scoring part, but the assist part, right?
Right.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, I guess. Because I don't think Brown style, I could see might wear on teams after 1, 2, or 3 years. If he keeps challenging or because that cup game when he was slamming the clipboard down on the ground, like, he going off. I ain't never seen Tibbs do this.
Well, I mean, obviously that's happened with Mike Brown, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen with this team, though. Because maybe one of the things
over time, like that.
But one of the things I always talk about with this team is the lack of edge that they've shown recently, right? They've shown that edge, and maybe because Mike Brown is lighting it up, you know what I'm saying? Mike Brown is getting in them. Maybe that's bringing that lack of edge because Mike Brown is, you know what? I thought I could be the IQ guy with these guys. No, I need to bring that fire. And so maybe he's bringing the fire that the team needs, and now that fire is translating to the court.
Yeah. That thing he said with Kolek. Man, you can't be taking 10 shots and hitting 3. Young blood came out.
Let me ask you this.
I got some shots.
Let me ask you this because, you know, we talk about I don't know how Kolek said it, if he said it with any kind of venom in it or just like, hey, coach, I was making shots, coach. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know which way he said it. But, you know, you talk about Mike Brown and will that style wear on players? Do you think that transaction between the two is more of, you know, Kolek looking for the validation from Mike Brown because Mike Brown said that to him, or more like, now what you talking about?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's what you gonna say now. I made shots.
Okay.
And even with pardon me, so even with Mike Brown, and you know what I mean, he's like, yeah, I was like, you little, you know what I mean, like, so he even felt a little kind of way, like, but in a good way, like I like him firing back, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I mean, I can't say that, so he's like, you little, you know what I mean, mother effer. So yeah. I think right now it's good energy. Right, it's good for the team.
I got it. It sounds like they have a good relationship where Kolek doesn't feel afraid to say that to him.
And he said he likes to get pushed. You know what I mean? He likes to get coached.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you gotta like to get coached, man. If you don't like to get coached, get out the league.
He letting other players. it sounded like he letting the vets on the team coach the team up too. Like he said after they lost to Minnesota, Hart told the team, "Yo, we may be down a little bit, so we may need you young guys to push us and hold us accountable." So he looked like he letting the vets coach the team.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's ever wrong to allow one of your coaches to, one of your players to speak in the huddle, right? Even if they have a play, come up with it's never a bad idea to let the players do that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for the most part, the coaches are going to lead the way, but there are times when, you let the players take care of the huddle. I've had times where I stepped back and just let the players do what they did. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's the question. You think that happened last year? Do you think Tibbs let anybody call a play for him? I think he was just too hands-on to do that, allow that.
Brunson.
I don't know, probably Brunson. I mean, I've seen players talking in the huddle and touching the board and stuff like that.
Okay. Like I said, I'm a Tibbs guy, but it's just like Tibbs was just too stubborn, and he wanted to make sure he made the call. So if he had to go down with the ship, it was on his word, not on somebody else's word. I think he didn't have a lot of trust in other people making the shots. He had to make, if he was going down, they're going to be on his dime. That was just old school how he was.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You don't know. You don't know because we're not sitting on the bench, so you don't know who gave what ideas and did things like that. You don't really know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
All right, fellas, let's chime in real quick.
But Mike Brown, you know what I'm saying? We focused on Mike Brown. You know what I mean? Focused on Mike Brown. He's doing a great job with the team, and he's bringing these young guys along. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's a good thing.
Now, if he makes Dade into a sniper, then we're going to give him another extension on that contract, because that's all we need next. We need that young boy to step up.
We need Diawara.
Him and
Diawara. Let me tell you what.
Well, Mo's been there.
Diawara is the guy that we need. Everyone's talking about signing a wing, trying to go out and get a wing. That's the guy we need. That's the guy right there. We get him up to speed. You know what I'm saying? We get him up to speed. We got something cooking.
Right.
Because he got the length. He's already got it. He's a kid. You can tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? You seen Josh Hart the other day. I had to scream at him to get off the floor. You know what I mean? He's a kid. But yeah, we got something with that kid too.
He looked at the coach.
He had me a little nervous. He was taking too long in that post move. I thought they're gonna get rid of his double team move, but they probably didn't think he was gonna put it up. But he had me nervous with that little back to the hole. He was taking like 5-6 seconds to make that move.
He got a bucket on it though. He got a bucket. Got a bucket on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they didn't think he was going to put it up. They thought he was going to try and pass it. That's why they were backing off him.
Right.
Yeah, he had a nice little impact in that comeback run in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I don't understand why Sean.
5 points. You know what I mean?
That's why I don't understand why Sean is asking me this question. So what's this love affair Sim has with Diawara? He ain't shown me nothing yet. So Yabba Dabba Doo has Sean?
Yabba Dabba done.
Show more than Yabba, that's for sure. He hit 1 3 a game.
My thing
played defense.
My thing with Diawara, Sean, is that he has the energy, right? He has the tools. He has the tools. You know what I mean? But he has the energy. He has the defensive acumen, the defensive tools. You know what I mean? And he's confident. He's not afraid. This kid really has some tools. You know what I mean? He really has some tools to be a good player for this basketball team. You know what I mean? And right now he's taking Yabba Dabba Doo's minutes because he's shown more upside for this basketball team, Sean. Not last year. Last year's last year. Last year. Yabba Dabba Doo's on a new basketball team. Last year is last year. We can't go with last year. We can only go by what he's showing us. Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
So you crazy.
Just saying. What have you done for me lately?
And he don't seem rattled.
One thing before I go,
like he comes in and he seems calm.
Mm-hmm.
He may make some rookie mistakes, you know what I mean? But he don't seem like he don't know what's going on. He seems like he's paying attention in the practices, you know what I mean? Like or maybe they giving him some extra work, you know what I mean? Some extra personal time to get right. But he just seems like he knows what's going on the floor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Quick decisions. Don't try to play outside his realm. You know what I mean? He's trusted with, some ball handling, bringing the ball up duties, and don't seem rattled there. And he, let me see, somebody in the chat said it, but he got all the measurables. You know what I mean? And he's young. I say keep building him.
And Tony,
keep building him up.
And he don't lack confidence. He don't lack confidence at all, Tony. They throw him an outside jumper. He don't hesitate on that jumper. He just putting it up. So he don't lack no confidence at all. So yeah, I like Mo. I want another wing. So I don't want to have to trade for another wing. So I want Dadier to come together too with Mo.
Man,
then we don't have to be trading our assets for another wing.
Listen.
You was high on him, Sim.
Listen, who?
That was your guy, Sim.
Who? Yeah.
Oh, Dadier. That was your guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I was high on him last year. I thought I was like, I thought he had the tools, man. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. He might be like Deuce. Remember they said Deuce be shooting good in practice in the G League and getting the game. It took him a while before he got his shot going. Maybe Daddy just need another year and a half to stop listening to the Garden crowd and get your adrenaline calmed down a little bit and hit them shots.
Yeah.
Because I see that's what with Mo too. When Mo get in the game with the Garden, I know he probably feel that ground moving and shaking.
But
he gets a little hype sometimes.
But he allows it to fuel the energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Sean said Diawara is averaging 3 minutes a game. What the hell are y'all seeing that I'm not? I'm seeing that he took Yabusele's role. That's what I'm seeing.
Consistently.
Yeah.
But what I got to say with your guys, with Yabusele, as much as I detest how he playing, he ain't pounding on the sideline. He's getting up there and clapping when guys doing good, doing the 3 He ain't sitting in the corner like some other guys we had.
Yeah. Good. He should be.
So at least he's being a good teammate.
Yeah.
Even though he ain't getting no minutes.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
All right, man.
Catch you on the next one.
Appreciate you, bro. Peace.
All right. One.
A couple more comments, man. From the Cleveland Cavaliers fans. Uma Boy said Donovan Mitchell in the last 5 minutes of crucial games has done the same thing his whole career. Ices everyone out, and then you win or lose based on his shot making. And just like in the playoffs, most of the time you lose. All those clutch games last year, we won. The difference, Darius Garland was the one with the ball and was in running for clutch player of the year. You feel like that's true about Donovan Mitchell?
I'll say this. Watching that game, that particular game, and what Garland was doing, he seemed like, it seems like, I think there's truth to that, because it felt like Garland made everybody better, and Donovan Mitchell was like the closer, the takeover guy. So maybe there's a medium. Maybe I can't say Garland's better, but he might be better all around. He's not a better scorer. but he might be better all around because he makes guys better. He seems to make the right play.
Right. Can't stay on the court. It's always injured.
That's his problem.
Yeah, always injured. Sean said Garland and Mitchell hate each other.
Didn't look like that last night.
Yeah. How would it have worked with Mitchell? Looking at what Jalen Brunson is right now, because there was a chance at that point that we were going to have Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. How would it have looked with those two?
Well, I never liked it. I never liked the pairing. Like, I know, people did, how you don't like Donovan Mitchell. I didn't say that. I didn't like the pairing. I thought it should have been one or the other, me personally. Like, I mean, there's no denying how dynamic they both are and what it could it be great? Yes. But in my brain, and it might be just like Knicks PTSD, I was like, I can only see Marbury and Francis and how that just didn't work.
The only thing I'll say about it at that time is we didn't know Brunson was going to be what he is. You know what I'm saying?
Even what I thought he was going to be, though.
See, I was looking at him as being more of like a Chauncey Billups type stabilizer for this team. You know what I mean? Like that type of strong-headed leader, that can score,
but slow down the offense,
but really lead, be the captain out there on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that he had this type of offensive game. I mean, I've seen him play. You know what I mean? And I know I watched him go on that run in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But I didn't know he was going to have this type of offensive game. And I don't know if the Knicks knew either. So I think they were looking at, okay, we have the leader, then we have the scorer. And also the leader can score too. You know what I'm saying? I think they might have been looking at it that way. Then obviously when Brunson came out and became who he is, it's like, oh, okay. All right, now how do we build around this dude?
I also think Brunson might not have wanted it.
Brunson may not be Brunson today.
I mean, I think I think Brunson knew who he could be. I don't know if he said I could be that next to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if both of those guys would have came to the team at the same time. I don't know if Brunson is who he is right now.
I agree.
I'm not sure.
I'd have had the bigger name. You know what I mean? But I can't even say I agree, to be honest, because you look at their matchup head to head in the playoffs. Spider still had the bigger name, so Brunson was gonna make his name no matter what. You know what I mean? If he had to go through Donovan,
maybe
or go through Donovan,
maybe.
you know what I'm saying? Like go through him as an opponent or go through him as a teammate. I think he was gonna be who he is.
Maybe. Sean said
but yeah,
the Knicks gave him $100 million. They knew who he was. I don't know if $100 million over what? 4 years?
5, I thought.
Like that's not
4.
that much.
No, it was 4.
4 years. That's not that much in the NBA today. That's not Jalen Brunson money today. That's, that's a slightly above average point guards money, in my opinion. In today's NBA, that's $25 million a year.
To think he would have took half of that 6 months earlier.
Exactly. 6 months earlier, he was going to take $50 million. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm happy the way it worked out. Trust me. I'm more than happy with the way it worked out because nobody can stop Jalen Brunson. That dude is unstoppable. Me and my brother were talking about it the other day. Like, we're still kind of befuddled. Like, yo, how does this dude do what he does? It's crazy. How does he do what he does? The way he does it. The dude is unstoppable.
So the thing, Sim, back then when that offseason when we was having the Donovan Mitchell Brunson getting them both conversation, and like I really didn't want it. And I was so dead set on like, yo, we gotta go get Shea. We gotta go get Shea. Mind you, Shea wasn't Shea yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. and people back then was like, they're not. There's no way they traded Shea. Like I guess some people saw it. I didn't know Shea was gonna be Shea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so. Like Shea kind of became who he is in that same span as Brunson becoming who he is.
Yeah. One more thing on Don. He said there's people that still think Don at the one is a winning formula. My God. I mean, I think they just have him at the one because, you know, when Darius Garland isn't there, who else is playing it for him?
You know what I mean? And I read that wrong. I thought when I first read it, I thought he was saying like the number one option.
Oh,
but I think I mean it could be exactly how he wrote it and playing the one, but when Garland's on the floor, Garland's the point.
Yeah, Garland's the one.
I mean, right. So
yeah. Anyway, man, how big of a we were talking before this game about who wanted to send the message, right? The Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was a Cavaliers team that was almost full. They had the Knicks down by 17 twice, something like that.
17 with 10 minutes left.
How serious? How much of a message was this to the Eastern Conference? I ain't even gonna say the league. To the Cleveland Cavaliers, to the Eastern Conference, like what a squad y'all got to come through.
I'm still not gonna go there. I'm gonna say this is still a message to themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like when they grab that number one seed, because I believe we're gonna grab that number one seed.
We're coming for it. Yeah.
Once we grab that, everything afterwards, that's when I'm gonna start saying, all right, this was a message. This to the league. This was a message to the league. Right now, they you know what I mean? They still climbing. I think this is a quality win for them. Mm-hmm. But everybody will acknowledge Cleveland is as of right now having a down year, right? Like they not living up to their expectations coming into the year.
Yeah.
As of right now. So like it's like when I ask who's it more important for, or who's the statement for? You thought it would be a bigger statement for Cleveland winning than it is for us, and I think that's correct because they're not where they projected to be.
Right. Mr. Vadgas said he's out. Too much Cavalier talk, bro. It's the losers' lounge. Mr. Vadgas, it's the losers' lounge. The point of this show is to talk about. Never mind.
Losers what got us here. Well, Tyler's what got us here. You know what I mean?
We're on to the Knicks talk now. You know what I mean? The Knicks are 2.5 games behind Detroit. Detroit has 7 losses. The Knicks have 9 losses. We play Detroit in about, a week? And we could very well that game could very well be the game that, is going fighting for that number one seed. Mr. Miller, shout out to the Lovers Lounge. Yeah. We might have to do a show. We might have to do a Lovers Lounge show. I don't know what it'd be about. Maybe we have to move that to the stoop.
I mean, that'll work.
I don't know. Jamrock says, Sim, what do you think about Cam Whitmore? Wizards got him for 2 seconds. Do you think he's a headache? Do you think he's worth a look? I don't think this team wants any headaches.
Any character
issues at all. I mean, look at the type of players that, they could have had chances to pick up guys who were reclamation projects because of character, and they've stayed away from it. You know what I mean? I don't think they want any kind of reclamation projects. I don't think they want any kind of headaches, nothing like that. You know what I mean? They have a singular focus: win the championship. And character issues can disrupt that. So I think they're very careful about who they try to bring into the locker room, because once you bring someone into the locker room, like, their character is now part of your team. And if it's bad character, it's going to infiltrate your locker room. You know what I mean? So, yeah. The Coolest said, the haters that love to hate on the Knicks, lovers lines. Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Sean said, I want Sadiq Bey. I would love to have Sadiq Bey.
Since we talking about, certain guys that we would like, shout out to Shuttle. He texted me the other day, and he was like, "What do you think about Nick Batum?"
Damn.
And I was like,
"Old, huh?"
He is old. He's only making like $3 million, but I think we're not relying on him for 30 minutes, 20 minutes at that, maybe 5, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Again, he would be a guy that in Yabusele's minutes, veteran presence. I think he still wants to win. You know what I mean? He's still trying to get that chip, but he got years and years of experience. But here's the kicker. You talk about a guy that can help Diawara, a guy that can help Dadier, fellow Frenchman.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And he got the size, 6'9".
Right.
He got the versatility. He can still shoot.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to say he a lockdown defender, but I'm sure he could still defend. And he could probably still play 3 positions. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what's going, you know what I mean? Who's he going against?
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, that's intriguing to me.
I can understand that. Jamrock said, I'm not asking if he's a character issue. I don't see him. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm not sure. Then, so you're saying is the reason why he's not playing is because of character. I see what you're saying. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Or they just not trying to win either.
Right.
We're not trying to give up this pick for a middle of the pack year.
Yeah. Sadiq Bey. D. Cooler says Sadiq Bey is the last Infinity Stone of the Nova Boys. I could see him. He's from Maryland. I would love to see him playing for the Knicks. I think he would fit with this team nicely. He could shoot.
Josh Hart from Maryland too, right?
Yeah, he's from Silver Spring. Yep. But yeah, Sadiq Bey, he can shoot. He can post. You know what I mean? He's a decent defender. Heady player. Fit nicely with this basketball team, I think. Obviously, with the Nova connection with Josh Hart and JB. Not that they played together, but, we'll see. Like we were saying before, any changes, any trades I think the Knicks make is around the edges. I don't think there's going to be anything major around the edges.
I got a question about Tyler. Has he played himself out of trade discussions? And I say that from the Knicks perspective, because it seemed like, early in the offseason, the talk was, especially with the Brogdon situation, you know what I mean? The talks was, we got to move Kolek, or we got to move one of these young guys. And, potentially Kolek was not a player of interest for other teams at that time. Where now, when we're bringing up trade discussions, it's probably going to be the first person that they inquire to be added added in as, some extra value.
Yeah.
But do you think the Knicks he played himself out of the Knicks, adding him in?
Or into trade talks.
I mean, it can't go. Here's what I say: depending on the value of talent that they bringing back, he may have to be included.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about like in the yabba dabba done situation, they may want some extra value.
Yeah.
And now, what I mean? Now he becomes the asking piece.
That's what I'm saying. He becomes an asking piece. Teams like, well, what about him? You got Brunson already. What about him? I think he's playing himself into the circle of trust with Mike Brown, and Mike Brown is going to advocate to keep him on the team. I do think that.
And hopefully, if that means staying pat.
Yeah, and I think, even if that means staying pat, and I also think, people keep saying that makes Deuce expendable. It might make Jordan Clarkson expendable.
Back to DJ, shouting out DJ
right.
Shadow.
You know what I'm saying? It might make Jordan, and the reason why I say Jordan Clarkson, and I know he's a little taller than these other guys, so he provides more length. But if you can trade him and get another guy that gives you length, they might. The reason why I say that though is because these guys are young and have a future with the team. Jordan Clarkson, we don't know if he really has a future with the Knicks. What is he, 33? Right?
What would Clarkson have to do to supplant Shamet? Because I also think Shamet coming back is going to be the more determining factor on, if they even decide to look to move JC.
Yeah, I think
more than Kolek.
Right. I think Clarkson would need to be like super consistent. Going forward, just like super consistent.
Like a 17 or let's say what 15 to 20.
Yeah, 15,
a game stretch?
14. Yeah. You mean a game per game, points per game?
Yeah, like a stretch. When you say consistent, because
he
you already know he can give you 25, he can give you 17, it might be 6. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But consistency is also based off your role and your coach utilize. You know what I mean?
That's
like
true.
Utilizing you.
I think that Mike Brown personally gets a little frustrated with like some of the shots that he might take. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think he likes Shamet. Like Shamet is very controlled and very picky about which shots that he takes. You know what I mean? He's a better defender than Clarkson. Now he keeps getting hurt though. Clarkson is there.
I told you Clarkson was gonna replace my my quickly infatuation. he doing the same thing quickly was doing.
So it's like Jamrock said, no need to get rid of Clarkson in the trade. This just makes we're not saying to trade him. We're saying with Tyler Kolek's emergence, does it make any of these guards expendable? Because now you have a plethora of guards that deserve to play. So who does it make expendable? That's what we're saying. You know what I mean? Who? It's a tough one.
You throw the Walter White one up right under that one.
Said, I'm nervous about Shamet. Without surgery, that shoulder won't stabilize. How does his injury affect his shot? Yeah. Right.
And if last year is any indication, it took him a long minute to kind of get his groove back as far as shooting.
It took him a while to get it back.
And Tibbs gave him every opportunity to you know what I mean, to break out of that slump.
Yeah.
Now, and that's why I think Kolek makes the fight between JC and Shamet real. You know what I mean? Because if Shamet comes back and he got to shoot his way back into form, he may not get the same luxury that he got from Tibbs, the same window, the same, you know what I mean? Like, especially if JC is a little bit consistent, you know what I mean? So I think that's where the fight comes. That's where the challenge comes. Whose minutes, who gets the minutes, JC or Shamit? I think that more than Deuce, more than Kolek. I think, Deuce's two-way ability is unmatched between those guys, the second unit guys. And yeah, I think it's out of JC and Shamit, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. I think you're right. Sean must have seen Tom Thibodeau somewhere over the weekend, and he said hi, and Tom Thibodeau ignored him or something, because all of a sudden in the chat he's just all over Tibbs for no reason. He just Tibbs this, Tibbs that, Tibbs this, Tibbs that. Did he ignore you, Sean? Did you ask him for an autograph and he said no?
Bro, he definitely gave Shamit. He gave Shamit when Shamit came back from injury. He gave him.
He did.
Mad, like we was doing shows like, yo, why is he still playing
Shamit?
he can't hit nothing.
Right. What are you talking about? Thibodeau must have splashed some snow on Sean today. Something driving by, some muddy snow or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. This is going to be an issue that goes on for the next couple of months, though, with the emergence of Tyler Kolek. Because now you really do have a glut at the guard position. With Kolek, Deuce, Kolek, with Kolek, Deuce, Clarkson, Shamit. You really do have a glut at that position. And what do you do? What do you do? Okay, Jabroni, good point. You said, why does it make any guard expendable? OKC has 5 to 6 guards in their rotation. I'll ask you this because I don't know. What are the height of those guards? Because we're talking Tyler Kolek at 6'2", Deuce at 6'2", 6'3". Shamit is what, 6'4", 6'5"? Clarkson, 6'4". Right, so we're talking smaller guards. We're not talking about 6'6", 6'7" guards. That can also play 3, or maybe if someone's a little bit bigger, maybe can play 4. Now we're talking about smaller guards. You know what I'm saying? Tweeners. You know what I mean? I think that's where the issue. I think that's the reason why we say someone can be expendable, because we're talking about a lot of tweeners here. And we're
also talking about minutes and minutes distribution.
Yeah.
So somebody is going to be the odd guy out.
Somebody.
Now, I get what you're saying. Keep everybody, somebody's off, you play the other guy. Somebody's out, you play the other guy. Somebody, you know what I mean? And I think that's fine too. But, we're acknowledging like a rotation, a steady rotation, a steady distribution of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're whole and you adding guys, somebody's minutes is going to decrease, somebody's minutes is going to diminish.
Right. And you're right. There's always going to be someone who's injured and needs rest. But what about when you get to the playoffs and everyone's there? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Now, I will say this. We could have everybody and we could be whole. And, Clarkson could win us a game or a series and not play the next one. And the next one, it might be Shamit that wins us a game or a series.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he may not play the next one. So, because all these guys don't really bring the same attributes to the game. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned with Deuce, he can not shoot the ball well and affect the game defensively and impact winning. We've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen him play extended minutes, not shooting the ball well, because his impact defensively is keeping us in the game or winning us the game, or keeping us with the lead. So,
Jan Rock said Isaiah Joe and Wallace are 6'3" and 6'4" respectively. Okay, that's 2 of the 5 or 6 that Jabroni was talking about. What about the other 4?
Yeah, Williams, multiple position guard, but he plays the 2 at like 9. Obviously Shea is 6'6" at the 1, and he's interchangeable. Could play with one of these smaller guards, alongside these smaller guards. So yeah, you got Shea out and Joe in, but you still got Williams in. That's still a tall backcourt.
Jamrock said he just looked it up. Shea's only 6'6". It's the only 6'6" guard there. They're all 6'4".
Don't Williams play the 2? And he like 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, I think he plays the 2, right?
Because he played the 1 in college, so
I don't know, but we got some small guys. We got some small guards. We know that.
But I will say,
we got some small guards, and I don't know.
They've been playing big so far, Sam.
They have. No doubt about it.
You know what I mean? we've seen the 3-guard lineup extensively. You know what I mean? We've seen Kolek and Brunson, which again, I never would have thought we'd seen that for extended minutes, let alone
crunch time minutes.
Crunch time minutes.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So it hasn't. We're talking about it, but it really hasn't been an issue.
It hasn't been an issue. It hasn't been an issue until it is, but it hasn't been an issue until it is, right? You know what I mean? We'll see. And maybe it won't be an issue. Maybe it won't be an issue. I still do feel like we need to have we need a wing. And the reason people talk about one of them guys being expendable is to get a wing. So, listen, OKC has one guy shorter than 6'4" on their team, and that's Carson Wallace. He's 6'3", right? I don't even know if the kid plays. Everybody else is 6'4" or above. We're not talking 6'4" or above with our guards, yo. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the guards in our rotation, they're shorter than that. Deuce is 6'2". Brunson, 6'2". Tyler Kolek, 6'2". You know what I mean? Like, that's 3 guards of our rotation. And then you got 2 of them at 6'5", Clarkson and Shamet. Shamet's not even here right now. When you talk about bench guys. And then, so I don't know. It was still kind of small. Still kind of small. Anyway, I'm cool with rocking with who we have, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm cool with rocking with who we have and just figuring it out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's Losers Lounge tonight. I'm head out. The Knicks with a very good win yesterday over the Cleveland Cavaliers. They play the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow night at 8 p.m. The Hawks are 15 and 17 right now? Right? I think the Hawks are 15 and 17. The Knicks are currently 21 and 9. Second in the Eastern Conference. 8 and 2 in the last 10 games. You know, they're 15-2 at home, still just 5-7 on the road. You know what I mean? We didn't start off that good on the road. Hopefully we can get it back. And we're getting it back. You know what I mean? But you're starting to see some consistency a little bit with the team. You're starting to see some things develop. The edge is developing. The never quit is developing with this team. It's there, and other coaches obviously are noticing it. You know what I mean? This team is never out of it. They're not afraid to get down. They know they can come back. You know what I mean? They have a problem protecting the lead sometimes. You know what I mean? So, Sean said, Sim said it's not finals or bust for this Knicks team in the East. So who the hell is going to the finals in the East? I don't feel like it's finals or bust. I'm giving the coach. I'm giving your coach, Sean. I'm giving your coach. I'm giving him grace. Maybe you're not. I'm giving him some grace.
It's finals or bust. And not because I want us to be like it's finals or bust, but because that's what the organization said.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, they said championship, right? I'm not going finals or bust, and I'm gonna be like that all year, no matter how good the team goes during the regular season. Sean, I'm not going finals or bust, because we all know the playoffs bring something different. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not going finals or bust. Now, next year might be different. I'm just not going there with it this year yet. There's still a lot to learn, I think, about this team. We haven't seen this particular team together with this coach in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I need at the very least Game 7 Eastern Conference Finals. At the very least.
He said, so if it's not finals or bust, do you think it's a team in the East that's better? Right now, I don't know about the Knicks in Detroit. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Detroit's obviously a good basketball team. They were good last year. They're better this year. I don't know. We'll see when we face off against them. But
that's going to be the chippiest game of the year.
Yeah, it is. But a good team in the regular season may be different than the playoffs. Right?
I like Cleveland Cavaliers.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe different than the playoffs. Let's put it like this. We lost to the Celtics. Right? Team that we're supposed to be hands and feet better than. And we lost to them. They just beat, it's the Pacers. They just beat them 140-122. But the Celtics are now third in the Eastern Conference, just 2 games behind us. They're 19-11.
They was coming for us when they beat us.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you just don't you don't know. It's still competitive. You know what I mean? It's still competitive. You said when did I say they was in the championship? I didn't say anything about them being in the championship. What are you talking about? Championship and Detroit Pistons never came out of my mouth. You said, what team is better than this? All I said is we haven't even played them yet. We don't know. They're obviously a good basketball team. That's it. That's all I said. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen.
I say we haven't played them too, but here's what I say about I don't think any team is better than us, but I do think there's teams that give us problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like Orlando had our number. You know what I mean? We kind of cleaned that up. It felt like Miami had our number. We kind of cleaned that up, right? So I don't think there's a team better than us, but I do think there's teams that we we don't match up well against.
Right. But this is where
we got to clean those things up.
Right. But this is where I'm always withholding the playoff version of teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've obviously seen over the years people always, especially Sean, Tom Thibodeau always lost to seeds that were lower than him, but we also beat seeds that were higher than us, right? We've seen it. We beat the Hawks in the regular season. They beat us in the playoffs, right? We lost to the Celtics in the regular season. We beat them in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Playoffs, it's going to be different than the regular season. So we can look at the regular season all we want and say which the Cleveland Cavaliers had the best record in the Eastern Conference last year. They were better than everyone in the Eastern Conference, record-wise. You know what I mean? So
let's throw his next comment up too.
Playoffs. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Let's see what the team is about in the playoffs. Because just like you say, the Pistons haven't proven anything. We haven't proven anything either, besides the fact that we can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Hawks were there, and then they didn't make it back. Right? Like we still got a lot to prove. So I'm not trying to skip steps. Just automatically put us there. I want to see Mike Brown with this team in the playoffs, see how this particular team together reacts, how Mike Brown makes adjustments, you know what I'm saying, and those type of things in the playoffs. It's a battle.
Look with Miami. Miami made the finals and then looked like a team that had no business being in the finals.
You know what I mean? So.
And then the next comment, Sean said, the Knicks beat the same Pistons team in 6 games last year. Here's the thing. I respect my opponent because them 6 games felt like the toughest 6 games.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Until we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the toughest series we had. And, it's not like we was mollywopping though. You know what I mean? Like they had a chance to win all the games we won. They had a chance to win,
and they feel like they should have beat us.
And our experience is probably what got us through them games.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? They just gained experience.
Exactly.
In those losses.
They just gained experience. Yeah. Sean said,
so I just respect my opponent.
He said, man, the Knicks are the best team in the East. They better be in the finals this year. Okay. I'm sure Cleveland fans said the same thing last year. Okay. I hope the Knicks are in the finals this year. I'm just saying, for me, it's not finals or bust. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, folks, we're up out of here for the night. You know what I mean? Blessings to you. Hopefully you had a great holiday. You know what I mean? And we will see you tomorrow night as the Knicks defeat the Atlanta Hawks. I'm calling it right now. Sean. We out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.